Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are doing great. Happy Wednesday. We got 9 matchups on this NBA slate today. Go ahead and like and subscribe. Check out all my links in the description below. Go ahead and sign up with ParlayPlay, guys. $10 in risk-free entries when you guys sign up. Uh, Pretty much over-unders on pretty much NBA, NFL, whatever you guys want. So you can use it on these games. And yeah, signing up with them definitely supports the channel. So go ahead and hop in there. And yeah, let's hop into it. We got 9 matchups here, starting with the Houston Rockets versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. Thunder opening up as 3-point favorites with the over-under at 211.5. Last 10 head-to-head, pretty even, 5-5. OKC 6-4 covering in those matchups. The over-under in this series is just 3-7. Don't see any major injuries in this matchup here. Houston 3-7 in their last 10. OKC just 2-8 in their last 10. I mean, both teams. Surprisingly enough, Houston is actually playing pretty decent here. On a 3-game winning streak, which is kind of crazy to see. OKC, I mean, they're on a 6-game losing streak, coming off a back-to-back, coming off two of these. They're coming off a 102-89 loss against Houston already. Then they beat Houston 101-89. I mean, yeah, Houston 0-10 on the road. OKC battling a bad losing streak here. Taking Houston plus the points. I mean, these teams did just play. Houston was able to win outright. OKC's last win was against Houston, but that was 7 games ago. Hard to trust either team here, but Houston riding a little bit of momentum. 3-game winning streak. Let's see if they can put it to 4. We'll take Houston plus the points here. Next matchup, we have the Charlotte Hornets versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Bucks opening up as 8-point favorites with the over-under at 230. The last 10 head-to-head, Milwaukee 7-3. Charlotte is 7-3 covering in those 10 matchups. The over-under in this series is 5-5. No major injuries here. Charlotte 7-3 in their last 10. Milwaukee 8-2 in their last 10. Milwaukee playing pretty good basketball here. Charlotte just 2-9 covering on the road. Not a good road team right now. Just 1-6 on the road against the Bucks. Bucks 5-0 at home. Playing great right now. 4-1 covering in their last 5. Yeah, I love the Bucks here. They've been playing good basketball. Charlotte on a little losing streak right now. I believe a 2-game losing streak. Yeah, Bucks currently on a 7-game winning streak. Yeah, we're riding the Bucks here. Rolling with Milwaukee. Next matchup, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves versus the Washington Wizards. Wizards opening up as 3-point favorites with the over-under at 216.5. The last 10 head-to-head, Washington 6-4. 7-3 covering in those 10 matchups. The over-under in this series is 9-1, which is kind of crazy. Minnesota 7-3 in their last 10. Washington 5-5 in their last 10 games. Minnesota just 1-5 covering against the Wizards. 2-4 against the Wizards here. Wizards, surprisingly, they've been really good against Minnesota. Minnesota's been playing good basketball, though. Surprisingly enough, I mean, they're on a nice little, got a 2-game winning streak going on, but I mean, 3, 4, 5, 7-1 in their last 8. Playing pretty good basketball here. I'm going to take the points with Minnesota. They've looked really good. Washington, kind of struggling, just 2-3 in their last 5. Only a 3-point spread. You can really go either way here. I'm going to take Minnesota. 7-2 covering in their last 9 here. Taking Minnesota plus the points. All right, next matchup, we have the Atlanta Hawks versus the Indiana Pacers. Pacers opening up as 1.5-point favorites with the over-under at 215.5. The last 10 head-to-head, Indiana 8-2. 5-5 covering in those matchups. The over-under in this series is 7-3. Atlanta 7-3 in their last 10. Indiana 4-6 in their last 10. Atlanta just 2-11 covering on the road. 0-7 against Indiana. 2-9 against Indiana. I mean, man, they've been struggling against Indiana here. Indiana 7-0 at home against Atlanta. 4-2 covering in their last 6. Yeah, kind of crazy. Indiana. They've been pretty dominant against Atlanta here. Very surprising. Indiana definitely been struggling in their last couple games here. I do see Holiday is out and Turner is questionable, but Atlanta's been really hot right now. 3, 4, 5, 7-1 in their last 8, playing great basketball. They're in a nice stretch. Indiana 1-3 in their last 4. I mean, they're not playing that good here. I'm taking Atlanta plus 1.5 here. The stats, you can read into the stats all you want, but I mean, Indiana just has not been playing that well. Atlanta been playing really good here these last 2 weeks. We'll take Atlanta plus the points. Next matchup, we had the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Miami Heat. Heat opening up as 8.5-point favorites with the over-under at 205.5. Last 10 head-to-head, Miami 9-1, 8-2 covering in those matchups. The over-under in this series is 8-2. Cleveland 4-6 in their last 10. Miami 6-4 in their last 10. Cleveland 1-11 against Miami. 1-7 covering against Miami. Miami coming off that loss to Denver here. I think it's a good spot with Cleveland to get a nice bounce back win. Cleveland coming off a 2-game win streak now, playing pretty good basketball right now. I like Miami. I think it's a great spot for Miami to bounce back here, get a nice win over this Cavs team. And they've been the dominant head-to-head, and they're 8-2 covering against the Cavs here. We're going to roll with the Heat. All right, next matchup, we have the Denver Nuggets versus the Orlando Magic. Denver opening up as 7.5-point favorites with the over-under at 207.5. Last 10 head-to-head, Denver 10-0, 7-1-2 covering in those matchups. The over-under in this series is 6-4. Denver coming off a nice win against Miami. Been struggling here, just 4-6 in their last 10. Magic 1-9 in their last 10. I mean, Denver, they've just had total dominance over the Magic. 5-0 on the road against Orlando. Orlando 1-10 at home here. Love the Nuggets. Magic been struggling. Denver's got Jokic back, rolling with the Nuggets here. The next matchup, we have the Dallas Mavericks versus the New Orleans Pelicans. Dallas opening up as 3.5-point favorites with the over-under at 210.5. The last 10 head-to-head, Dallas 7-3, 7-3 covering in those matchups. The over-under split in half, 5-5. Dallas 4-6 in their last 10. Pelicans 5-5 in their last 10. Dallas 7-1 in their last 8 against New Orleans. 6-2 covering against the Pelicans here. I like the Mavs coming off 2 bad losses over Cleveland and Washington. I like the Mavs to bounce back here in this matchup, rolling with the Mavericks. All right, next matchup, we had the Philadelphia 76ers versus the Boston Celtics. Celtics opening up as 1-point favorites with the over-under at 210.5. The last 10 head-to-head split down the middle, both teams 5-5. Philly 6-4 covering in those 10 matchups. The over-under in this series is 4-6. Philly currently 3-0 and 3-0 covering in their last 3 meetings here. Philly 3-15 on the road against Boston. Kind of a not a good stat for Philly. Boston 6-4 in their last 10 games. 15-3 at home against Philly. Don't see any major injuries to report here. Everyone should be good to go in this matchup. Yeah, the last three, Philly has won and covered the spread here. Boston, both teams haven't looked all that amazing here. Boston's looked pretty okay in their last 10. Now since Embiid's back, I think Philly will probably start to play a little bit better here. I'm going to roll with Philly +1. They've been the better team head-to-head in the last few meetings. I'm going to roll with the Sixers. All right, and then the last matchup, we have the Sacramento Kings versus the Los Angeles Clippers. Clippers opening up as 6.5-point favorites with the over-under at 218.5. The last 10 head-to-head, Clippers 7-3, 7-3 covering in those matchups. The over-under in this series is 4-5-1. Sacramento 3-7 in their last 10. Clippers just 4-6 in their last 10. Don't see any major injuries in this matchup. Clippers, trying to find some good stats here. 11-6 as the favorite, 9-6 at home. Both teams not playing good here. Clippers just 1-3 in their last 4. They haven't really looked that impressive, honestly. Kings haven't looked that impressive either as well. I'm going to take the Kings plus the points here. Not really in love with this matchup. Clippers, the last 2 games they've been, they were 7-point favorites against the Pelicans last game and ended up losing pretty bad. Not sure you can trust the Clippers right now. Yeah, we're going to roll with the Kings plus the points here. And that's going to be it for the video. Good luck with your picks and parlays on Wednesday. And I'll see you guys Thursday. Have a good one.